Right. Well, it's good to see everybody. And Katie and Jenica, just saw you a moment ago on the Interior Design Business Bakery call. So thanks for joining us over here. Hopefully you got something to eat in between. That was a long call. Um, there we go. I'm a little jealous. There we go. I love the window behind you too, by the way, Jenica. That's super pretty. I was going to tell you that earlier. Katie, oh, there you go. Yes, right? It was a lot. Yes. So for Pearl and MG and Nancy, if you're wondering what we're talking about, we just wrapped up in our paid program. I have an hour-and-a-half call once a month. And this one went, gosh, was that 2.5 hours? Yeah, so we tacked on an extra training talking about our contract and some of the changes that we'd made to it and so forth. So yeah, we're all coming off of a long a long Zoom call. So today what we're going to be talking about is delegation. So I think that's something that I'm actually really good at delegating. I call it efficiently lazy. Just having somebody else on there. Pearl, you were on that call too?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, I
wow.
was. I was. It was
Oh,
amazing. A
oh,
lot
I'm
of
so
good
glad.
stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know it was the same Pearl.
It's
Awesome. Good,
me.
good, good. Well, there we go. So we've got a few of our bakers here. Fun stuff.
Yep.
Well, I'm still going to introduce myself. For those of you who are not familiar, my name's Michelle Lynn, and I'm the owner of ML Interiors Group, which is a nationally recognized interior design firm based in Dallas, Texas. And over the years, my work has caught the attention of outlets like Forbes, Southern Living, Martha Stewart, but really what lights me up is helping fellow designers grow the businesses that they love. So that's what we were just talking about a minute ago. I work with interior designers who are ready to scale to multiple six figures with clarity, confidence, and some real profit without losing their passion or their minds. So we've got some testimonials here. This shit works. Uh, so uh, regardless of whether you're in like a coaching program with me or somebody else, I think that delegation is something that we can all struggle with, and it's something that's a little bit difficult to teach. So I've come up today with just, a few key points that can help point you in the right direction or get you over a speed bump that you might be having. But while we are just getting started, let me know if you are, I don't know, how you feel about delegation. Are you good at it? Are you working on it? Is it something that you're comfortable with, not comfortable with? Or what keeps you from delegating? So just tell me your thoughts on delegation. Do you even have a team to delegate to? Okay. Or do you feel like you need a team? Because you don't have to have a team that's like on your payroll because you can outsource this stuff. You can outsource it. Hallie, yes, yeah, that is something. And Katie delegates some bookkeeping and had some delegated social media. Good, 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 good. Jenica, I know we were just on the call and I was telling you got to let go of some of that control. Although in your case, I can understand why you have it. Um, Crazy contractors. Oh, there's Elaine. Look, y'all, this is like a repeat of our bakery call. Hey, Elaine, good to see you. We got some familiar faces here. So let's talk about delegation. Okay, Pearl, you're learning to delegate because you want everything to be perfect. Okay, that now, I think that this is, if I were to hallucinate, I think that a lot of this has to be with us being women. Okay. Um, because we do want everything perfect. We know that we're really good at getting things done. I've in my previous life, I managed both men and women, and I still have that theory that women are afraid to let things go because we're used to holding so many things together. Now that's just a theory. There's absolutely no basis behind it other than my experience. But let's just talk about where we are right now. Running an interior design business has more moving parts than I ever imagined possible. Do any of you guys remember the Macaroni Grill restaurant? Okay, tell me in the chat if you are familiar with, have eaten at, or just been at a Macaroni Grill back in the day. Okay, this was quite a while ago. Katie, yeah, okay. You used to have one here. Yeah, they were popular back in the day. I don't know if there's any left, maybe one or two if so. But if you remember, like they were really busy. There was a lot of times there's a lot of moving parts. I was in my 20s and I was the general manager of a macaroni grill. It was a $6 million operation. Can you imagine they gave responsibility of $6 million operation to a 20-something-year-old? Whatever, that's crazy. But I was handling all of the front of the house, the back of the house, like the hostesses, the servers, the managers, the food costs, the liquor costs, the chefs, the cooks, all the things. I came out of that industry, went into another industry, and then finally started my interior design business. But I really thought that if I could navigate that I could navigate anything. And I started my own interior design business, and I was proven wrong. There are more moving parts in an interior design business than in my opinion, a $6 million restaurant operation. Okay. And I learned there that I got into management right after college. That you can't do everything. Like imagine that. So as the general manager of the $6 million restaurant, I had to delegate. Chef, you do your thing chefing. Hostesses, you do your things hostessing. Servers, you do your thing serving. Like bartenders, you do your thing bartending. Dishwashers, you do your thing dishwashing. Everybody's really good at what they do. I had to know enough about it to be able to check them, but I didn't have to be the best at it. There were things that I was the best at. It's the same thing in your interior design business. As the owner, you need to know all of the parts, okay? Just because you know what each of the hats are does not mean that you need to wear all of them. Because doing everything keeps you stuck in overwhelm and it holds your business back from growing. Okay, so delegating, when I was this general manager of this restaurant, it's not giving up control. It's allowing me to navigate the entire shift. Okay, letting the chefs be chefing, letting the dishwashers be dishwashing. Like imagine, just like put yourself in a restaurant and imagine trying to do all the things that need to be done. It's virtually impossible. It's physically impossible. But yet somehow we decide that that's what we're trying to do with our business. So even if that restaurant that I manage wasn't $6 million, let's just say it's $600,000 a year. How am I supposed to do all the cooking, do all the dishwashing, do all the serving, do all the bartending, get people seated? Oh, and then the, bussing the tables. Okay, everybody here has been to a restaurant. It's the same thing. So what I want to do is bring us back into our interior design business. But regardless of where you are, let's just unpack the real reasons that it's hard to delegate and what to do instead. Okay. So here's what I've seen. We're going to talk about like, here's the fear, and then we're going to make the shift, whether it's mindset or tactical. So we're going to have some tangible takeaways today. Okay. These are the, I don't say excuses. These are the reasons that I've heard time and time again from different designers, as well as in different industries. Okay. Because I did that management, I ran a restaurant, and then I was a sales manager in another company. Okay. One of them is like, I'm still figuring out the process myself. Right. So you're doing the things, you're making the mistakes, you're having the successes, you're putting your processes together for how you want to run your design business. Some of you guys, there's a lot of you guys here today. We've got Pearl and Laura. Hey Laura, good to see you. And Elaine and Jenica and Katie. These are all bakers. So you guys have the process, right? But as you're putting these things together, you don't need perfect systems, okay? But you need them documented. Okay, so if you're in the interior design business bakery, you have them. You have them documented. You want to put them to place in your documentation system. Okay. For those of you who are not in our program, what you're going to do is you're going to start recording Looms, like what's working. Okay. You're going to start documenting all the things. Okay. And then you can delegate while you're doing this. So you can teach the person, this is how we do it. Now write it down. Okay. And then you're going to refine it as you go. You can hire people. Okay. So maybe you're not going to delegate to another designer right away, but maybe you delegate to an office manager who's really good at systems. Okay. So you don't have to delegate maybe the obvious, maybe it's the stuff that it should be the stuff you're not good at. Okay, so as you're figuring out the process yourself, you might hire somebody who's better at it, who sees what you're doing and starts writing things down for you. Now, I think some of you guys said this. You don't trust anyone else to do it right. Okay. And let me just tell you, I totally get this. And I usually run across this at home. Okay, my husband's in the other room, so I don't want to talk real loud. At home rather than at work. For some reason at work, I can give Debbie and Juliana and Alexis license to do it and not do it quite as right, but at home it's completely different. I'm working on that. Internal, right? gotta work, do some self-work. But with this, the way to do it is by defining clear expectations. And I've learned this with Debbie, who's been with me on my team for 11 years, because she and I understand each other really well. And I get frustrated with her when I tell her to do something and she doesn't do it right. Okay. But then I realize, well, duh, Michelle, it's because I didn't tell her what I wanted. Okay. I didn't train her and tell her exactly what I wanted. So you have to make sure that you give clear expectations. Like, for example, I have her now, she is the director of Sweet Success in the interior design business bakery. And I had this all mapped out in my mind and I'm realizing she's not doing it the way I wanted her to. And then just yesterday, I realized like, oh, I didn't tell her what I wanted. I just threw her out there. So you guys have to give clear expectations and training. So for those of you who don't feel comfortable, just delegate one small recurring task. Like, what is one task that's recurring? Could it be putting a yard sign in your new client's front yard? Okay. Could it be ordering their signing gift? Could it be, I don't know, social media posts? Okay. And then what you do is you delegate that one thing and then you create a checklist or a template, a standard operating procedure to support consistency. So let's just say it is putting a yard sign in the front yard when you get a contract signed. Okay. So what you have is you have the reminder in your project management system. In our case, it's Asana right now. And then you have, here's what you do. You know, you take a look and at the inventory of yard signs, make sure that it's not sun bleached. Okay, these are things that you would anticipate people would be doing, but you want to write them down so that you can't be disappointed if you didn't tell them. Make sure it's not sun bleached. If you're taking the last one, let Michelle know so that she can order some more. Okay, grab the rubber mallet and go and put it in the front yard, and you need to put it perpendicular to their home so that people driving left and driving right can see, because it's a two-sided sign. Like you need to do that. Take a picture, send it to Michelle. Okay, then once they do it once or twice and you don't have to tell them again, then add another task. Like this is how you train them. Okay, but here's the thing also, is done is oftentimes better than perfect. Okay, or not done. So if you feel, and this is just kind of an example, if you feel like you have to be the one who goes and puts it in the yard because you want it just right, you want it just right there. Okay, and it needs to be like this many inches from the sidewalk and this far from, like all this stupid stuff that you have in your head. Okay, would you rather have it done? And maybe it's just like a little bit crooked and it's not exactly 6 inches from the sidewalk? Would you just rather have it done so people see you driving by? Yes. So relax. Okay. This is, you're not working in the operating room. Nobody's going to die. Okay, Elaine, calling you out on that. Nobody's going to die when it's not perfect. If you were an operating room, I would say, yeah, suck it up. It has to be perfect because somebody's going to die, but they're not. Okay. So really figure out what really matters. I get it. I totally get it. I mean, OCD, CDO, it should be alphabetical. Okay. And I don't want it crooked. I want it just right the way it's supposed to be. But is it that big of a deal? Okay. So you have to train them. Okay. And then there's also, well, I'll just do it better or faster myself. This came up for me last night. Genevieve, my daughter, she's 6. She went to bed and then she got up and she couldn't sleep. And I'm like, well, baby girl, I'd love to spend some time with you. I know you can't sleep, but let's go back upstairs and go to bed. No, mom, I want to stay with you. Well, honey, I'm cleaning the kitchen. Okay, I need to empty the dishwasher and I need to reload it and I need to wipe down the counters and stuff like that. She goes, well, mom, let me help you with that. And I was like, oh, right. No, first of all, you need to go to bed. Second of all, this is going to take forever. It's like, just pull my teeth without giving me Novocaine. But I thought, okay, well, you know what? I can do it better and faster myself, maybe right then. But you know what? This is time to start training her because long term, she's going to need to know how to do it anyway. Okay. So it was basically short term pain for a long term gain. It's the same thing for you. Okay. So think of terms in your return on investment. If I invested 15 minutes with her last night, it can save me, I don't know, 100 hours later in the year. Okay. So yeah, Hallie, it's a thing. And it's just like, but here's also, I'll get her trained to load the dishwasher the way I want it loaded. Okay. So at the end of the day, I don't have to go back and redo it. So when you train them the way you want it done, you get it done the way you want it and you're not the one having to do it. Okay. So this is something she can do. Now, can I teach my daughter to go grocery shopping? No. Can I teach my daughter how to plan her birthday party? No, not at this point. So I can do that. Okay. So you want to focus your energy on what only you can do. So right now, you are the main designer. You need to spend your time designing, not making sure that that yard sign is 90 degrees perpendicular to the facade of the home. Think about how much you get paid per hour. What is your hourly rate compared to somebody else? Okay, put your time and energy there. So investing a couple of hours training your new office manager or your new assistant designer is going to save you hundreds of hours later. Or it's going to allow you to do what you do best and get paid for. Okay. I don't have the money. Okay, I don't have the money for it. That's another reason a lot of people don't delegate. And this is something that I've juggled myself. I'm about to get to that same place, but delegating is what creates more capacity to make more money. Because you cannot be doing it all. Think about if I was there was one person when I was general manager. Let's just say it's this little cafe, okay? Let's just say I am the one person trying to run this little cafe. I'm trying to make coffee. I'm trying to flip pancakes. I'm trying to take the next person's order. I'm trying to seat the other person walking in. Oh shit, the pancakes just burnt and I forgot to put the bacon on. Okay. In order to run this little teeny tiny cafe, I still have to delegate something. At least I need somebody to help me cook so I'm not burning the pancakes. Okay, but I also probably need somebody to help me clear the tables so that I can seat somebody faster and make more money. If they're sitting there waiting for their pancakes because they're taking too long, if they're sitting there waiting to get the ticket so that they can pay their bill, we're not turning tables. It's the same thing. You have to turn your designs. You have to design in order to make money, and you cannot design if you're doing administrative tasks. Okay, so you'll see how much it costs to not delegate. And there's a lot of things that you can work into your design fee. So for example, Maybe you're outsourcing your renderings. Okay, you don't need to do your elevations or your renderings. That is something that's paid for by the client. We just went through our contract on our call for the interior design business bakery, and we're talking about here's where you can take a lot of retainers. Procurement's the same thing. You don't need to be doing procurement, babe. You need to be documenting the items that you want so somebody else can order them for you. Because if you're procuring at your procurement rate, it's going to be much less than designing at your design rate. Does all of this make sense? Like, tell me in the chat if like, oh, okay, this is a different way to look at it. Because if you break it down to these reasons, or if you break it down to these excuses, then we just need to make some small shifts. Okay. And you might have a few of these reasons. I get it. But once you understand why you have to, then you will find a way to do so. Okay, here's a real one. They're all real, but here's one. It's like you can't find the right person. Okay. I think that if you can find somebody who has 80% of what you're looking for, hire them. You're never going to find the perfect person. Okay. How many of you guys are married? Okay. How many of you guys are married? Is your husband perfect? Mine's not. Okay. Is he perfect for me? I'd say most of the time. Okay. Most of the time. But I got the qualities in this man that I wanted, like the integrity and his faithfulness, his love of the Lord. Like these are the important things. And then I train him for the rest of it. Okay, let's just be realistic. It's the same thing when you hire on your team. You're not going to find the perfect person. You're going to train them to be the right person. Okay, you want to hire them for a parenting and marriage coach. Yeah, and restaurants too, Hals. Elaine says, is there training in the bakery that reviews the information you need to collect for the procurement hire to do what they need to do? Elaine, I don't have one in the bakery right now, but I want to get with you on the sidebar because I have something coming out that might address that. If you want to tag me in Facebook. So what I've learned, and especially with like designers or somebody in my business, it's different when I was hiring on a corporate level. Okay. But one thing that's the same across the board, whether I was hiring for my sales management position and hiring salespeople, or if I was hiring in the restaurant, hiring a dishwasher or an assistant manager, you have to hire for their attitude. Okay. You're looking for their attitude, their ability to solve problems. Okay. Their work ethic. Okay. You're going to train them for the skills that you want. So you could have a badass, you could have a total badass office manager. But if she's a bitch, what good does it do? Right? Like, let's just put that out there. Like she could be great. But if she pisses everybody off that she comes across, what good is it? So you hire for their attitude, you train them for the skill. Okay. You can ask for referrals and then hire them on a contract basis, like 1099 basically. You don't have to hire them on as an employee right away at all. In fact, you might not ever hire them as an employee. Maybe they're just always outsourced. Now, here's the thing about outsourcing. When you outsource, you can outsource to somebody who's very specifically niched down into what you're wanting to hire for. Okay, so you can outsource your renderings. They're going to be faster at it and better than you are. We do it. Okay, we make more money that way. Client pays for it. Teresa's faster than my team is. And she collaborates with my team and together they come up with better ideas. Okay. And then finally, and this is one that Hallie can attest to lately because we just went through a rebranding and I didn't ask for a lot of help where I could have asked for help. I don't know if I felt guilty or if I don't know why, but sometimes we just don't ask for help. Okay. Which is stupid. That's pretty blunt, but that's the only way I can think about it. Okay. But you have to ask for help. Your clients don't hire you to hang the drapes, right? Here in my office, they hire you for the vision of what the drapes are going to look like to finish the room out. So when you do feel guilty, or you just don't ask, or you're just so far in the weeds that you can't see past it, sometimes that's just going to happen. Okay. But when you come up for air, you need to ask for help. Okay. Because you know what? You need to stay in your zone of genius. My zone of genius is not building a website. My zone of genius is coaching y'all. This is what I love to do. Do I love creating other things? Absolutely. But what you're also doing is you're giving somebody else a chance to shine. So by training Genevieve last night, she was so, she put her breakfast dishes in the dishwasher this morning. Okay. And she was so proud of herself. So think about that. Think about you're giving that joy to somebody else to contribute to your business. So, let's talk about a quick action plan, because I want to respect your time. I get so excited talking about these things. List 3 things. Okay, I told you you're going to have some key takeaways. An operations-minded BA. Okay, thanks, Hals. I see your note in there. List 3 things that you do that somebody could do, like 80% as well. Okay, will they ever be as good as you? No, no. I mean, like, I work with Hallie and delegate a lot of things to her. Is she going to be as good as me at all of them? No. Is she going to be better than me at some of them? Absolutely. Okay. So you might be surprised that who you delegate to might teach you something. So 3 things. Pick one to delegate this month. And y'all, it is like, what is today? Is it today like the 21st? By this month, I mean May. So technically you have 10 days. Okay, pick one to delegate. Drafting, bookkeeping, and procurement. Rock on. Elaine, you just knocked it out of the park. You've got 9 days. We're going to get one of them to delegate. Make it easy. Okay, you can create a checklist, create a Loom, which is a screen recording, give clear instructions. Okay, that's your action plan. That's what we're taking away from today. Baby steps. Okay, you don't have to, but you also don't want to hand over everything at once. Because if you handed it all over, so for example, if Elaine in the next 10 days handed over her drafting, her bookkeeping, and her procurement, okay, that would be pretty kick-ass, right? That would be pretty kick-ass. But she couldn't do it all at once because she cannot navigate all 3 of those at the same time. Okay. So, if this free training gave you clarity or momentum, I want to invite you to another free training. Okay. How many of you guys have been to my Rolling in the Dough workshop? I know some of you guys have been, because this is where thank you. This is where I talk about my paid program. Okay. In all transparency, I tell you guys on Monday, this is a 5-day free program. It's called Rolling in the Dough. It's how to clarify, quote, and close badass clients while you're baking your profit into your project. Okay. I also introduced my paid program, but you get so much value out of this 5 days of free training that my little pitch and my little commercial shouldn't bother you, but you might also want to join us. But join us. It starts on June 2nd, Hallie. June 2nd, I think. For those of you who have been there, okay, whether you joined the bakery or not, was it worth the money? Five, free? Jenica, thank you. So much value from the free training. So come and join us over there, y'all. If you don't like it, I will give you your money back. But I'll also tell you, thanks, ladies. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support, truly. I will tell you that I have received nasty grams from other coaches because my free content is better than their paid content. Okay, so I piss off other coaches. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I just told the coach, well, level it up, babe. Level it up. I'm not going to water myself down just to make you more comfortable. But that goes for all of you guys. Don't water your badassness down just to make other people more comfortable. Last question before we go. How do you feel about delegating now? Like just after this quick 30 minutes that we've been together, do you feel less stress about it? Do you feel the same as when you came in? Do you feel like it's a little bit more possible? Like, how does it feel? Good. Game plan helps. Yes, 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 yes. So for those of you who are in the interior design business, so y'all can leave, I'm done. But for those of you who are in the interior design business bakery, I'm about to roll out a program this summer that will help you with your project management, some of your accounting, and project management, accounting, and procurement. We might so with that that's coming your way. But I am glad to hear that you've got the game plan, you feel less stress, freeing, you needed permission. Oh, interesting, Katie. But yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And sometimes you just have to reframe it because think about if you are a mom running a household or if you are single running your own household, but don't we all need help? Like a housekeeper, somebody to mow the lawn, like technically you're delegating somebody to mow the lawn for you. Okay, technically you're delegating somebody to clean your house for you. Okay, why can't we do that in our business? Ask yourself that and then release it. Okay, because what it's gonna do, and I can tell you this, because I have managed people since I got out of college, which is really scary because that's a really long ass time. It's hard at first, but once you learn and once you make it a safe place for them to fail, like give them parameters. Here's the last thing I'll leave you with. Give them parameters. Katie, I can tell you who to do that. I'll give you that information. When you start to like you train them and then you tell them, I'm going to be micromanaging you for the next 90 days. Okay, just get over it. It's going to be hard on me. It's going to be hard on you. I'm going to be up your butt for the first 90 days as you're learning how to do these things. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you fly little by little. Okay. And I'm going to give you parameters for decisions. Okay. So maybe you tell them you can make a decision on anything up to X number of dollars. Okay. So if we think we need to get a new software, then I'm going to trust you. You can spend X number of dollars. Okay. So they can make a mistake with an amount that you are okay to potentially lose. Yeah. Duke Renders is good. Also, Teresa G Design. Hallie, I think you can find Teresa G Design. We've used her as well. So you guys just you put boundaries on it. It's like with Genevieve. Jen, you are welcome to put all of these dishes in the dishwasher. Don't you touch my wine glass. Okay. Don't anything that has a stem on it, don't touch it. Okay, Mom. I don't want her to break my stemware. Don't touch it. Everything else fine. Okay. So if it's too valuable, you give them parameters. So Teresa G Design is who we use. She's fabulous. Duke Renders is fabulous. Both of them have great processes to onboard you. And they both collaborate. So it's not like you're just saying, this is what I want and handing it over. You still have control. You still have vision. But here's something else. Just like I was saying, it's like Hallie's not as good as me at a lot of things. I'm not as good as Hallie at a lot of things. So she teaches me things often. I teach her things. It's the same thing. When you collaborate with somebody to help you render, they're going to say, have you thought about blah, blah, blah? They might give you like this mind-blowing design idea. And you're like, holy shit, why didn't I think about that? you tell the client you came up with a great idea. So anyway, with that, I highly encourage it because it's basically you're bending time by duplicating yourself. So thank you guys for being here. I hope that for those of you who are in the bakery, feel free to come back through the workshop. We would love to have you. In fact, we would love to have some testimonials. So since I have you hostage here, Hallie's going to ask you if you can help with that. For those of you who have not been to Rolling in the Dough, come join us. It's especially if you are having a hard time getting clients through to signing the contract, which I think is something that we're all wanting to improve on right now. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you, bakers, for God listening to my voice forever. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I will see all of y'all soon. Bye.